Do you find that your emotions creep up on you and you're not quite sure what's going on? Do you find it challenging to understand which emotion you are experiencing in the moment and therefore choose the incorrect strategy to navigate it? Well, stick with me because this week we're going to continue our conversation in Emotional Intelligence Awareness Month by helping you to understand that it all starts with self-awareness. Last week we talked about the power of emotional intelligence and how emotional intelligence can give you the skills that you need to be able to get on well with yourself and others. These are the key skills that allow you to have growth and prosperity in every area of your life. We talked about the fact that there are two sides of this. There is the emotional intelligence, which is about self, and then there's social intelligence, which is about others. And we unpacked a 4-quadrant model that started with self-awareness, then went to self-management, which is all about us, then social awareness and relationship management, which is working with others. So what I want to do this week is continue that conversation and unpack that first quadrant of self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability to know what's going on internally. In that moment when we experience the physical sensation of an emotion, we can recognize what it is. We can then put a name on it and give ourselves the right strategy then to move forward. We can have an understanding about what's going on in the internal dialogue and our thinking, and therefore harness any unhealthy meanings that we put on that original emotion so that the feeling we experience can be one that empowers us to have a better response. There are 3 competencies in this quadrant of self-awareness. The first one is emotional self-awareness. This is the ability to know your internal states, to know your preferences, your intuitions, and to be able to know when you are experiencing particular emotions. It's all about having an expanded emotional vocabulary where, rather than just having a handful of emotions that you use, such as happy and sad and angry and frustrated, you can indeed take advantage of over 2,000 words in the English dictionary alone that can describe the emotion you're experiencing in the moment. That then enables you to, when you feel you're at a particular emotion or you're experiencing that, to challenge that and to get a more definite understanding and more accurate understanding of the actual emotion you're going through. So then, if when you feel you are frustrated, you can realize that you're really just feeling misunderstood. You can take control of that in that moment rather than wait until you do get frustrated. The second competency is accurate self-assessment. This is the ability to know your strengths and your limitations. We talked about in the 10 Commandments of enjoying your life that it's not about comparing yourself to others. It's not about you being perfect. It's about being open and teachable. And what this particular competency does is enable you, in the context of emotional intelligence, let you know accurately where you are in those competencies. Then, and only then, can you have a start point to be able to incrementally grow in the competencies that you need to work on right now. The third competency is personal power. This is where you have the knowledge that you've got everything within you and around you to get ahead in life. It's about a high level of self-worth and self-confidence. And my experience is that this is the foundational competency for all others. It gives you the ability to be able to bring to mind experiences in your life where you have felt good about yourself, where you have succeeded. It's all about being able to be assertive, to set boundaries and say yes and no appropriately without operating in that performance trap. So there we have 3 competencies in that first quadrant of self-awareness: emotional self-awareness, accurate self-assessment, and personal power. So this is where we start. This is where your journey of incrementally growing your emotional intelligence needs to begin. It all starts with you. So if you have been developing or trying to grow in skills that are helping you to work with others, that's great. However, perhaps the reason why it's not working as you want it to work is that you haven't started with yourself. Self-awareness gives you the ability to be able to then move to the self-management competencies. Self-awareness allows you to, instead of managing your emotions, is understand them and then get the information that you need so that you can navigate them in a more healthy way. Self-awareness gives you the ability to be aware in the moment and to then create the future that you want, to experience feelings that are empowering rather than disempowering, and to then be able to move into the self-management skills that we're going to talk about next week. Well, that's it from me for another week. Join me again next week as we continue this conversation, as we wrap up Emotional Intelligence Awareness Month by talking about the competencies of self-management. I'll see you then.